You know, my takeaway from today is how do we expose more students to the possibilities of what they can do in career and workforce development.
So we appreciate the opportunity to come out today and visit some business and industry folks, particularly in the agricultural realm. And we wanted our staff to see what's taking place currently in these areas. And so a lot of what we learned today at Greenswell was that it takes a lot of different skill sets to run that type of operation. So a student, as we may take this back, a student may have a passion in farming, may have a passion in computer technology, mechanics, but all of these things may come together to help pursue whatever career path they may have.
This has just been a great day of exchanging ideas and seeing how we can incorporate the things that we're learning on these field trips into the programs that we're offering at Powhatan High School and Powhatan Middle School.
My biggest takeaways from today are probably how I could incorporate talking about like the technology aspect and all the different things that go into growing more food crops and stuff inside, which is something that we don't cover a ton with the stuff that we grow in our greenhouse, and how like the technology and stuff has advanced and things they can do with that if they're interested in the technology side but still interested in plants, that they can kind of use both of those things together.
So my takeaway today from the trip to Greenswell Growers was the amount of mechanization that is actually in a smaller scale production. A lot of times we see different things on videos or different ads about, what robotics can do in agriculture, and it was just really cool to see something where you could see it in action. It's a very efficient system, seeing everything move and go, and it's not something that you typically see in like a middle school greenhouse or that sort of stuff, but it's something that is kind of cool for my kids that are interested in engineering and the mechanics side of things, to see them that you don't just have to be interested in plants in order to go into that sort of area.
Well, we've talked about ideas of a 4-spoked wheel in 6th grade, allowing our students to really experience the opportunities earlier in their education, and so that they can start thinking about what they might want to do and what courses would help support them in those goals.
Kind of fascinating to see the type of technology and computer systems. So it was a very quick ride, but you could see the moisture level of what was being harvested. You could see the quality of it. If it was cutting it in a way or separating it in a way that wasn't quite at the level that we wanted to get the product we wanted, you could make just a few quick changes on the screen in order to make it that more quality product and to make sure that you're harvesting the best before finishing the whole field and finding out that, hey, maybe we need to do something a little differently. It also showed how efficient you were being, how much fuel was being used as you were harvesting, so that you could try to make those management decisions and see that you're going at the right pace and the right speed and making sure everything's as efficient as possible.
It's just impressive to think about it in an agricultural standpoint, that even in a setting inside of a great big old warehouse that you have ag. And I think that's will be a huge takeaway for our kids to come and see something like that and see the ag, not just out in a farm field, but the 21st century technology, and these kids will be able to see how farming and the technology side of it. It's just so impressive to have an opportunity to be able to go out and do that.
So my biggest takeaway from the trip today was really hoping that students in our core classes like biology could really see how a lot of these sciences are applied, like why we need to know how plants uptake nutrients and things like that, why we need to understand plant genetics, because if we can utilize those technologies in applications like this, where we can make new varieties of plants to be resistant to pests or resistant to certain diseases, that's a really cool application of the things that most students in high school have to learn in a basic biology class. And a lot of those students, if you could take them out of a book and put them into the real world and show them why it matters, a lot of them would be way more engaged, and I think would buy into it a whole lot more than just looking at it from a book.
We have work to do with our families as well, so that they understand the earning potential that is there and the jobs that are available for our students if they leave high school with a credential or certain certifications that they can earn a living wage doing many of the jobs that they're trained to do right in high school.
Out numbers and spreadsheets and forecasting with Gantt charts, and where I can spread my risk out is what I do, basically. So I guess back on Josh's thing, there's some business management that needs to be incorporated, in my opinion, if you're going to be at the level of trying to manage farm operations.
To children to come out with a skill set that they can turn into a career tomorrow, that don't have to have, $250,000 of debt strapped to their back to be able to function in society. I think those kids, the way that the CTE programs work, the way that they can teach a trade, tie it with business aspects, some sort of IT aspects, and even like the culinary side, it's amazing. You can come in as a business operator at 20 years old, theoretically, out of this. And I think that's the way to go.
And so being able to explain that better to our families, I think it's important for them to see the opportunities that are available in high school outside the normal 4 core courses. To me, the possibilities are endless.
Golly, how long ago was
he taught me horticulture and turf management in high school, and pretty much talked me into applying to Virginia Tech and going to school there to do the 2-year ag tech program.
It's so great. It was such a shock. I remember you when you was a kid. I mean, it's so awesome.
Something that you enjoy doing for sure, because that's what makes it worthwhile going to work every day.